compulsion or by choice, still 100 marks to all of you. So thank you. Um, in before a classic begins, they invoke the muse. So I'll quickly, we have a time crunch. My timer is on. It's 15 minutes. So I'll just quickly do my dedication. So this is the first time ever I am presenting a paper. I'm very excited and nervous. So I would like to dedicate it to my grandfather, Mr. R.N. Roy, who introduced me to the Bard of Avon, Shakespeare, my father, Dr. C.R. Roy, and Professor Basant Sharma, whose guidance I felt every time as I was researching for this paper. Thank you. Yes. So, my paper is titled Seeking Hamartia in the play Antony and Cleopatra. My paper aims to revisit the play with a very modern perspective. The play Antony and Cleopatra contains within the recesses of his heart a deep longing for the tragic doom. Now, if I have to speak about hamartia, tragic doom, downfall. So if I have to speak about hamartia, let's quickly, start with the definitions and basic understanding. Now, hamartia is generally understood as the fatal flaw, the tragic flaw, which leads to the downfall of the characters. Aristotle is believed to have explained on this concept on poetics by saying that it is an error of judgment. Now, here's the thing. In Greek tragedies, such as in Oedipus Rex or any other play, one operates against the fatal framework. The hamartia is fatal. It is there. Now, even if you are trying, you are willing, unwilling, still it will happen. What is most interesting in Antony and Cleopatra is that here all the characters, including the lovers Antony and Cleopatra, they are active participants in their own hamartia. There is a momentum of hamartia in the play. It is a common topic of discussion. Every character, minor character, major character, everyone seems to be, rushing with the hamartia. The hamartia is publicly declared, and Antony and Cleopatra are kind of going against a public oracle, if I have to put it this way. So the hamartia is not only an internal factor, but also an external factor. So, Antony and Cleopatra are aware that their love affair is mutually destructive. Nevertheless, like a pair of moths leaping into the fire, the lovers ignite themselves in the flame of passion and go against the common reason to actualize their destiny. So, what happens actually is that the human mind, in seeking hamartia, it draws pleasure by wishing to be the other. Now, it cannot be the other. So, the inability to be the other gives rise to the longing for others' downfall. Hamartia thereby is an instrument. It ensures that the social order, established order prevails, and the lovers, Antony and Cleopatra, are anti-establishment, as cool as that sounds. It is the scandal of their salad days that leads to the stronger meat of hamartia. In their love, Antony and Cleopatra are both foredoomed. So with this, I'll open the play. The very opening line of the play, as Demetrius and Philo, they are both followers of Antony, the very opening line of the play says, "Nay, this dotage of our general overflows the measure." They both joke on how their captain is trying to cool a gypsy's lust. How the greatest soldier on earth, whose goodly eyes, quote, that glowed like Mars, now turn the office and devotion of their view upon a tawny front. Often in Shakespeare, the very first line of the speaker illuminates their nature. Antony, in his first line, mentions that there is a beggary in the love that can be reckoned, and Cleopatra would not be able to set a bond on their love. It is so since Antony's love is uncontainable in this world, and thus seeks a new heaven and a new earth. Now, for Antony, therefore, love is far greater than the lordship of 1/3 of the world. His love not being enough to be contained on earth is a premonition of the hamartia, the downfall to come. And this is perhaps Antony's blind spot. So this is another crucial argument which I am making in my paper, that Antony is forced to choose between Roman common sense and Egyptian romance. His very mind is the site of violence. There is a tussle over Antony the lover, who is harshly pitted against Antony, the greatest soldier on earth. There is no human space given to him, and he's subjected to the immense pressure and the public responsibility of being the greatest soldier. Now, this informs that while Antony can get out of Rome, Rome cannot get out of Antony. Antony is viewed as the noble ruin of Cleopatra's magic in the public opinion. You know, so as Act 1, Scene 1 ends, as Antony and Cleopatra decide to spend another night of revel wandering through the streets of Rome, Philo and Demetrius discuss that how in such moments Antony falls short of being the greatest soldier on earth and proves the rumors against him to be true. There is no human space given to him. Now, when we are talking about rumors to be true, let us come to the topic of rumors. And when we are coming to the topic of rumors, it kind of brings us to the topic of scandals. The play offers a peek into the human subconscious in the matter of scandals. Scandals are spicy. Scandals unite people. Scandals cross boundaries. Scandals freely travel from Rome to Egypt and back and forth. The human mind elicits a great pleasure by pointing to another's hamartia. And scandals are only present. In Act 1, Scene 2, Charmia, who is a part of Cleopatra's retinue, she asks the soothsayer to get her married to Octavius Caesar so that she can rise in power and be equal to her mistress by having a lover of distinction. So, at the heart of the scandal, there is always a private desire wishing to be the public other. And this also informs the nature of the hamartia. The scandal and the hamartia truly sets in, and the beginning of the end begins as Antony is, he's in a conversation with the messenger who brings in messenger from Rome who brings in the news that your wife Fulvia, she has engaged in a war against Octavius Caesar, and in engaging with the messenger, he asks him to speak to him in the common Roman tongue. Tell him his faults, how the people are talking about him, and even name Cleopatra as she is called in Rome. The pungency of the Roman tongue, the pungency of the Roman taste palate informs Antony's decision to either break the strong Egyptian fetters or lose himself in dotage. Quote, I must from this enchanting queen break off. So after the death of his wife, the greatest soldier on earth triumphs over the lover. Rome is fast catching up on Egypt. And Antony is also afraid of the hamartia, for he is always, at all times, he is afraid of the vicissitudes. He knows that the doom is about to come. And thus he says, would I had never seen her. He is always subconsciously seeking the hamartia. Now, it is very interesting to note that the desire to be the other operates at several levels. Cleopatra jests with Antony, I have no power upon you, hers you are. There is a desire to be the other, which is wife. Cleopatra, by this desire, is trying to deny the hamartia by trying to fit in the established social order. However, despite the mal effects of the scandals and the overwhelming hamartia, the innate love between Antony and Cleopatra triumphs as Antony says to her, as they part for the first time in the play. Our separation so abides and flies, that thou residing here goes yet with me, and I, hence fleeting, here, remain with thee. Contrary to Cleopatra's claim, who is angry on him for giving a passive reaction on the news of his wife's death, Antony is ever aware that there is a heart in Egypt, rather two, for though he be in Rome, his heart is Egyptian. Antony brings himself to leave Cleopatra only and only because he is aware that he will come back to her. As the play progresses, things kind of go towards Rome. Octavius Caesar also has the desire to be the other and beat the other, as he asserts his supremacy over Antony, who fishes, drinks, and wastes his night in revel. So you can see that both the common plebeian as well as the head of the state, both are seeking the downfall of Antony, who is the abstract of all faults and who knows how to give up a kingdom for a moment and rule the streets of doom. Now, why is it so? The lover is chided because he interferes in the affairs of the soldier and thereby the state, the Roman Empire. Let us have some more instances of how the hamartia is an external factor. When Pompey, the rival of the Roman state, he discusses about Antony, he says that Mark Antony in Egypt sits at dinner and will make no wars without those, which implies that the only wars that Antony is now capable of making are encounters in love. The soldier is therefore overshadowed by the Epicurean, and as in the words of Pompey, let them never lust gaily Antony, rest in the lap of Egypt's widow. But there is always an effort to juggle through the hamartia, and Antony juggles through his hamartia as one sees the wise statecraft champion, the one who you might remember with the celebrated speech, had won the hearts of friends, Roman and countrymen. So Antony meets Octavius Caesar, goes away from Egypt, and skillfully negotiates all his differences with Caesar. And when Agrippa, the minister of the Roman state, wishes that Antony marry Octavia, Octavia is Octavius Caesar's sister, Antony wishes to go ahead and clears the air by stating that he is not at all bound to Egypt by any marital vows. The statecraft champion suppresses the lover inside him for a momentary peace and tries to avoid the hamartia. But just as the triumvirs, Lepidus, Antony, and Octavius Caesar, the three rulers of the world, just as they leave, the private comes into play. As the ministers of Caesar and Antony, they engage in an unguarded conversation. And Enobarbus, who is supposed to be kind of the right hand man of Antony, he tells all that Antony will never leave Cleopatra despite his marital commitment to Octavia. In his words, Antony will to his Egyptian dish again. For Antony, married, but his occasion here. Therefore, everybody in the play, everybody is constantly seeking the hamartia. Everybody is aware of the downfall to come. Everybody is an active participant in the scene. Octavius Caesar is aware that his sister Octavia will get politically compromised in this marriage with Antony. And he also expresses his wish sometime in the play that had he and Antony bonded without his sister, for he is aware of the hamartia to come. And his awareness is very evident. As Antony, as in Hindi we say, Kasida Paddiye. So Antony makes promises and promises of fidelity to his sister, but Octavius Caesar simply replies, I have said. That's it. So the brevity is the soul of wit, and in his brevity, you can find a sense that he is aware that Antony and Cleopatra are forthcoming. Another example, perhaps, of a desire to be other is that Antony is constantly, as I had questioned earlier in the day, Antony harasses the messenger and asks him about, Cleopatra harasses the messenger, and he kind of asks him that what are the features of Antony's wife, Octavia? Tell me. So, in that, after learning the features of Octavia, that she is less beautiful than her, she is confident that Antony will leave her and come back. This is a step forward towards reaching the hamartia. Now, 2 minutes. Okay. So, as the play progresses, Antony kind of returns to Egypt, and in returning to Egypt, he is aware that he has signed up to his doom. He is back at his hamartia. There is a war. Caesar is angry. Why are you back? Why have you left me? Why have you left the Roman Empire? Now, in the war, Cleopatra mocks Antony that you are very negligent on the war front. Antony can bear the world to scoff at him, but not the lady for whom he has willingly left his soldiership. And so, in a desperate attempt to make the greatest soldier triumph over the lover, he abandons all his advantage by land and chooses to fight over sea. Antony, as Enobarbus says, Antony gives himself up to mere chance. This is reflected in what Samuel Johnson says in his essay. He says that, the Shakespearean hero gives himself up for a quibble, for nothing. He's a man of passion, a man of heart. So love has created fissures in Antony's unified, consistent sense of self. Antony goes through a bad identity crisis. He is constantly torn between being the lover or between being the greatest soldier on earth. And later, to sum it up, there is a war, Cleopatra deserts it, Antony deserts the war, follows Cleopatra, they lose the war badly. So, Antony laments, the identity crisis in him is evident. He says, I am so naked in this world that I have lost my way forever. And he is the new Hamlet. He's constantly torn between, to be this or to be that. And later, there is another war. Antony is again, he is aware of his hamartia, he gives a premonition of his death. But to sum it all up, so far I have elaborated on how hamartia is eternally sought against the public opinion that this would lead to, the tragic doomfall. But now, in conclusion, let me give you a very interesting take. Let me give you a radically different take. I feel that, yes, it's a 1 minute. I say that the common conception that the love between Antony and Cleopatra is destructive But on a closer look, you will find that it is kind of based on the Ovidian tradition. The lovers want to metamorphosize beyond death. They aspire to exist beyond the social measures. And as Antony has said in his opening line of the play, to reach a new heaven and a new earth. Because theirs is not, an ordinary love story. It is the union, it is the interpenetration of their own ecosystem and the Egyptian values. It is the union of Mars and Venus, if I may say so. So, and thus martyrdom is attached to their death. They are love's martyrs. The lovers look forward to meeting each other in a better world, and hamartia is the only way to actualize this desire. And thus the hamartia is sought. And the last line, to quote it through Shakespeare's own words, hamartia enables death to be a lover's pinch, which hurts but is desired, for it carries within it the reunion, and so the lovers run to their death as to a lover's bed. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you, Origin. Origin,